We are back with what is now becoming a series. I'm back with Anaya. My name is Daniela from Mindful Goods. And today we're going to do another audit. We are going to call this series Amazon Listing Tea Time.
Yes.
In our Amazon Listing Tea Time, we have decided to share brands that we naturally come across on Amazon that we fall in love with and that we think could be doing so much better conversion wise. That is something that we specialize in here at Mindful Goods. So the entire purpose of this series is to show you how we would break down an Amazon listing and try to figure out ways that we can improve conversion when we do that. So without further ado, what's the brand we are going to review today?
The brand that we're going to review is called Chow Poppy.
Great name.
The reason why I chose this brand is because I was just annoyed at the fact that this brand has so much potential. But then if you look at their Amazon page, Amazon is doing them dirty. We need to talk about this.
Yes. Let's jump into it. So the thing that we first look at when we're looking at a listing is we like to just take a quick high level view of the SEO. In this case, we're looking at the title, we're looking at the bullets, and in some cases, we're checking to make sure there's alt text on the A+ content. In this case, you can definitely tell that they've put in some effort on the title.
Yes.
It looks like it's got a lot of keywords, maybe a little overstuffed. But that's something you can easily test. This is signaling to me that they are definitely playing around with their SEO and trying to get found more in the searches. So this is a good signal. And then if we look at the bullets, let's take a look at that really quick.
Love their bullets. They add in all their important keywords. And my favorite part is that their lead-in sentences are all caps. The whole thing would just look like a block of chunky text, and customers would not know where to start, what to read first, what is most important. So this is why I love that they have their lead-in sentences in all caps. So they just go ahead and read these if they're not going to read the whole thing, because 98% of the customers don't read the bullet points. So this just becomes a very good place to add in all of your important keywords, which I think Chow Poppy has done so well.
We know that even if customers are not actually reading all of the text that are in these bullets, we know that they're using Rufus now. So another great use case for this section is making sure that you're answering any of those questions that you see in those bubbles on the left-hand side that are popping up related to your product. You can also go and check which bubbles are popping up on your competitors' products so you can answer those questions as well. And that's a great place to do that. So customers may not be reading this. Yes, you should have keywords in there, but you should also be using it for a dual purpose to answer those questions so that Rufus can then serve it up. That brings us into our bread and butter and the area that we like to focus on the most, which is the creatives, because that is what's going to get people to click into your listing. And that is what's going to get people to add your product to their cart and buy the product. And so to do that, we first start with the main image, and we need to make sure that that main image is stealing clicks away from the competitor. There's tools now that you can use to create main images on Amazon. You still want to use the human brain to see what else you could possibly do to analyze your competition and see how else you could stand out. We at Mindful Goods have an AI that's trained on our best performing main images. We would just pop this image in there, come up with lots of image options, and that's basically a bunch of ideas. They're not polished, they're not finished and ready to go. It gives us a good jumping point to say, okay, these are all really good ideas for where to start. We also look at the competition and see what they're doing. And then we're going to come up with our own set of main images that we think are going to steal clicks from the competitors. But what would you do if you were looking at this?
First of all, the only thing that I can actually read and notice at first glance is Chow Poppy, the brand name, and the product name. As a customer scrolling on Amazon looking for something that's non-GMO, that's keto friendly, that's all natural, my eyes would not stop on this one. I would not stop my scroll for this product over here, unless I know the brand, because that's the only thing that's visible right now. What I would suggest is enlarging the callouts on the product label itself a little bit bigger. So California grown tomatoes and tomato spices sour cream, just to add a little value prop to make them stop. I'd also add in some eye candy over here. Actually, I'd like to show an example of one brand that I think are doing really well at showing what the product is. So this brand, it's called Sow. If we look at their main image, they do a wonderful job at showing that's in there. It's hot honey marinara. They show the spices that's in there. They show the honey. They show the tomato. And they add in their most important value proposition, which is no seed oils. That's their
Love
USP.
that.
Having all of this over here immediately makes me want to stop the scroll. So a person looking for something that's all natural, no seed oils, that is a little spicy and sweet, it will definitely make me stop and click on this. However, if we go back, there's absolutely nothing here that will make me stop unless
Right.
I know the brand and I'm looking for Chow Poppy.
Yeah, so having that bit of eye candy to the side to really help entice people to click through, having little call outs, no sugar added is huge. So people are looking for things
Mhm.
that don't have added sugar. I would definitely call that out. And then having some tomatoes on the other side. So you could almost put the ingredients on one side of these bottles, and then on the other side of these bottles, you could have
Yeah.
tomatoes. A really fun idea would be, you know how in the beauty category, there's like a smear behind the product. Like sometimes you have like a white like cream that goes behind the bottle. So like
Oh,
you could play around
yes.
with like
Yes.
a marinara thing behind the bottle or like a marinara and a sour cream smear. Like you could have some fun with it and see like, does that help get clicks, right?
Yeah, something like
So
I know this doesn't look that good, but look at that.
yeah.
Clearly see what it's gonna look like.
Right. And the point here is that you're having a lot of fun with ideation. Yeah, look at this one. Amazing, right? Fork coming into the frame with like
Amazing.
that's the end product. That's what I'm gonna get. I'm already like drooling just even looking at that.
Ex-
The other thing to pay attention here too on this one that you're showing me is the bottle one in front of the other. So that can be another way that you can play around
Mhm.
with orientation. The bottles don't have to be side by side. Like you want to show them they're getting
Mhm.
two bottles, but you want the bottle as big as possible in the frame. So if we go back
Exactly.
to Chow Poppy and we look at the bottles, there's a lot of white space on the top and bottom. So it makes the product look smaller in relation to the competition when it shows up in the search results. So we want
Mhm.
to play around with that orientation to get the product to be as big as possible. And the way that that brand did it was fantastic. So you could almost combine that,
I
have a
know.
fork coming into one side, have the ingredients coming into the other side, and have a high intent keyword call out on that packaging.
Yeah,
So really great
that's right.
examples. Love that. Chow Poppy, if you're watching this, that's how you're going to get more people to click into your listing. That's how you're going to steal those clicks away from your competition. But let's jump into the rest of the product images.
I love the photography that they've done. I just don't
Beautiful.
think that they fully utilize their beautiful images.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, and the box is at the end. It would have been great to see more of the box in other
yeah.
shots too. That's a
Hmm.
cute box.
And now talking about the nutritional facts, if you look at the same brand that I was talking about, let's take a look at their second image, the nutritional facts. If we compare between the two, they both show the same thing. But there's just one brand that is making the customer think that, wow, this brand is transparent and this brand is honest. And then there's another
Yes.
brand that shows the same exact thing, but then customers are like, okay, okay.
Yeah, they have to
And
turn their head to see.
exactly.
When you pull out the ingredients and display them to the side in a larger font, you're showing that you have nothing to hide. It's like an instant trust
Mm,
factor. And for Chow Poppy, it'd be great because they only have like very few
right.
ingredients in their product. So it's a really great
Mm.
way to add trust. And then I can see on their bottle, it says like woman owned, non GMO. Like those are really great call
Oh,
outs.
yeah.
Those can be sitting right
Yeah.
underneath your ingredients just to add credibility.
Hmm.
Or you could even have the badges for the no sugar added or whatever other claims that you're making for this particular product.
Yeah. And on Amazon, people do not struggle. They just scroll right past.
We want to remove the friction for sure.
Exactly.
If we look at the rest of
Yeah,
the
the
product
rest.
images, what I'm looking for is I want to see like a big header on each one and a simple
Hmm.
subline on each one. What I'm noticing they did here is they either have an image with lots of text all over the place, but no hierarchy of text, so like big and small,
Right.
or they have images that have sentences of text. So like
Yeah.
that one, for example, right? What you want is you want something that's in between the two. You want to have like one big header to tell them what you're trying to say. I'm not opposed to doing this sentence idea. I think it's really cute and it could work. But where it becomes challenging and where you bring friction into the equation is when you have an image next to it that's going to have all the paragraphs of text, like what you saw in image 3 and 4. It just seems like way too busy with those versus the sentence that's like clean and clear. So I
Right.
would definitely clean those up. So this is a PickFu poll that we basically ran on the existing product images. And the reason why we want to use a polling software is it's going to tell us which images are resonating with customers, which ones are not, and why. And that quantitative and qualitative data together allows us to basically take the bits and pieces that are working for the brand and elevate them from there. So what you see when you're looking at these results is which ones got the most amount of votes, which ones didn't get any votes, and why. From there, we can deduce all of this different information. But what's interesting is if we look at the winner, it's the one with no text. I don't recommend doing that on Amazon because for me, it's a waste of an image. You're showing me something, but you're not telling me anything. And your images on Amazon have to serve a function. They have to show and tell at the same time to answer a question in the shopper's mind and get them to buy. If I am a shopper, for instance, and I hit that Amazon page and I only saw that lifestyle image, but I needed to see the ingredients image and I didn't see the ingredients anywhere in these images, I would have been like, oh, too much friction. I'm out of here. So even though this one got the most amount of votes, it's telling me that it's a beautiful image. It's resonating with shoppers. Great. Let's figure out how we're going to maximize that image by having it serve a function rather than just looking pretty. So the first 3 images, A, B, and C, for me are just a waste. And I'd figure out a new strategy for those images. So if we look at D and we look at E, F, G, and the last one. What is the last one? Because that also got tied
The
for a
last
winner.
one is everything that's in the bottles. That's all the ingredients.
So that one is resonating with people. So we definitely don't want to lose that image. We would want to maybe see what else we could do to make that better, but we might want to move it to the front of the stack to see if it can convert people quicker. And that's where that transparency point comes into play too, like you were saying, clearly saying what's in this product and making it really easy for people. If we look at what else is resonating with shoppers, you can see the G that is completely text heavy got 0 votes. That kind of image feels cluttered. It's stuffed with text. It has a function, but it's not functioning. There is intent behind what they're doing. It's just not working. It's not well executed. So there's an opportunity there. We don't want to lose this image. We just want to do it in a different way to where it's actually serving the purpose of showing Chow Poppy versus other brands and us versus them type of scenario. Here's an example of a great us versus them image. Love this one. So it's not just saying us versus them. It's saying sows versus them, but it's like taste the difference, sauce versus them. It's showing unique flavors, small batch, made with olive oil. It's clean, no seed oils and taste. Really easy to read. Ooh, and the dollar signs. So it's showing that it's a middle of the line product.
Exactly. It's signaling that it's amazing for its price because it's in the middle. It's not like a luxury thing, but it has everything.
Yeah. So if we look at D and then the next 2, E and F down below. Yeah. D, E, and F. They got 3 votes, 2 votes, 5 votes. So that's where we're kind of falling in like middle land where like we're kind of losing people. Again, these images are doing something. They're just not doing the best at what they can do. 5 votes isn't too bad. So those images are still getting votes, but we need to figure out a more functional way for those images to attract people and keep them engaged as they're scrolling through your product image carousel. So this is definitely a really great exercise that we like to do. Another thing that we would do beyond this is we can take this poll, drop it into Claude. If you've connected your Claude to PickFu, which I think is a new feature that they have released or they're going to release soon, but we have access, which is amazing. But we can assess this poll and it'll tell us at a high level, what are the individual things for every single image that we can do to improve the image, which is amazing. So love, love, love these polls from PickFu, love analyzing with AI, and I love using that as design instruction to help us make these images better. So some other things that we like to do beyond PickFu is run a VOC AI report to understand what is the review analysis that people are saying about this brand and the competitors. What are the top questions that they have? What are the things that they're looking for? What are the biggest concerns? And we want to address all of those in our content. And so you ran a VOC AI report. I'm curious to see, was there anything that stood out to you in this report that is kind of a gap or we could bring into this listing?
Yes, so there's information about all the different ways that customers are using this product. Use it with with spaghetti, they use it as a marinara dipping, they use it as a quick solution, they just pour it on their pasta or any food that they're eating, and as a low carb keto diet. So all of these are different usage scenarios that customers are using this product. So that needs to be mentioned over here somewhere, different ways that they're using this product.
And if you're not going to mention it, you could show it in the lifestyle
Right.
imagery. Rufus and Amazon's AI can actually tell what is in these images. So you can create those scenes of people eating their pasta in different scenarios from the VOC AI report to bring that data in and subconsciously be answering those questions in the customer's mind.
One more thing is there's no image of what the consistency of the sauce looks like. I do think that this product needs a little bit of a better hierarchy. Nowhere in these product images they show a close up of what it looks like. What's the consistency? Is it thick? Is it like watery? How does it look? What are the
Yeah.
different ways I can use this?
If you saw a fork coming into the frame with the sauce, you would start to see the consistency. If you saw people pouring it on top of their pasta, you would see the consistency just like that. So using those like usage lifestyle scenes. In this
Mhm.
one, I can see there's some shots of dishes in that
Oh yeah,
example,
let's have a look.
like showing what the pasta is going to look like. Oh my God, that's a fun
Look
image.
at that. Look at how they
They're
show
breaking
all
down
the
the
ingredients
ingredient.
here.
Fantastic. Saws. Great job, Saws. But you can do this too. Any other pasta sauce brand should be taking notes from Saws and looking at what's working and elevating their imagery. This is a very creative team, you can tell. Love what they're doing here.
Right.
What do you give the product images here? We didn't do our thumbs up or thumbs down. Let's do it again. Let's do it.
Okay.
What do you give the SEO? Okay. And then for the main images, what do you give them on the count of three? 1, 2, 3. Okay. And for the product images on the count of three, what do you give them? I'm going to give them like one up, one
They
down.
try.
It's a much
They
better
try.
attempt than the main image. But whenever we give like a thumbs up, thumbs down, that means there's like so much opportunity.
Exactly.
Like you should always be staying curious on Amazon, improving your imagery, split testing your
Hmm.
imagery, bringing in data, trying to understand what your customers want and trying to improve conversion. So let's get into the A plus content. Do they
All
have basic or
right.
premium?
Let's see. Have basic
Womp. So
or
if you are a brand and you're selling on Amazon and you sell on Seller Central and you are brand registered, you can upgrade to premium A plus content. We have clients that are selling on Vendor Central that are paying $500,000 a year for one SKU to have access to premium A plus content. Brands that are selling on Seller Central get this for free. And what that allows you to do is instead of having your banners take up a portion of the screen, they take up the whole screen. And you can have mobile banners that show up way better on mobile. You can embed video, you can have carousels. It's going to increase the dwell time on your product pages. It's going to keep the shopper's attention better, and it's going to help you convert better. So, highly recommend making that upgrade. Having basic A plus content is better than having nothing. Having premium A plus content is better than having basic. So, when you're ready to step up your game, highly recommend upgrading to premium. Yes, it's a higher lift. It's a lot more work to do it well, but you get so much more function out of it. And it's something that's going to help your brand make more money. So why wouldn't you do it?
exactly.
What's your high level thoughts on this A plus content?
I think it's okay. It's just too long and it's kind of boring. The thing that I'm mad about is if I hadn't seen their website, I'd be like, it's fine. But then now that I'm looking at their website, I'm just mad.
There's like all of these brands out there that have these stunning, amazing Shopify direct to consumer websites. And then you go to Amazon and it just like falls flat. So they're just leaving money on the table because if the brand doesn't go to your website, they're not going to know how great you are. But you can
Right.
make these pages on Amazon look so good. Let's show another one we did for a spicy ketchup brand and look at how much of the screen this is taking up. It's got the level of spice here. It's got all of this really huge copy that you can read with the ingredients called out. And it's just like, it's just exciting. It keeps your attention. You can have these carousels. You can embed a video. You could have videos of your influencers. There's just so much you could do.
Oh, I
And
love that carousel.
for Chow Poppy, they can have those amazing images from their site in a full scale brought in, but they need to incorporate some of the text on top and really like think through the structure and the narrative. When I see those like media logos down below, I immediately want those brought up to the top because I want people to get that credibility and that trust factor right away as quick as possible to know that this is a legit brand. They've been mentioned in all of these
Yes.
outlets. I should try
See?
this. Like that's what I'd be thinking, you
Exactly.
know? And then a family affair, love that. Cute family photo, love your story. Keep that. I would keep all of this. You just need to elevate it. Like, this is a great first attempt.
Exactly.
I'm not mad at this. I'm just not falling in love with it like you did for their website. Look at another client of ours, Pretty Thai. We have dishes that you can make with this, which you can easily do with the pasta sauce. We have the pasta sauce bottle brought out really big, some big call outs, a strong USP top of the premium A plus content. And this is those media mentions I was talking about. They're right here at the top. Big, bold, really giving trust factor to shoppers. Shown that it's made by chefs. So this is you bringing in your family, bringing this in through the generations, bringing it in through the farms, just really selling that story visually, showing all of the different dishes and the use cases like you talked about in the VOC AI report. This is where you could bring that in and have it in carousels and in other dishes, other lifestyle scenarios. Bring in the people who are raving about your product and the influencers that are making their pasta at home, and show people how to make their pasta at home. Show them the pasta tips. Bring in those videos and have it as a scrolling carousel here of video content, which would be amazing. And then here, this is showing the different spice level, but for Chow Poppy, they could be cross-selling the different flavors that they have right here at the bottom. So this is a very applicable structure of content that we know converts because this client specifically, as a case study on our website, they saw such incredible improvements in their sales by leveling up their content that Amazon invited them to speak at Amazon Accelerate with us, of course, but that's a testament to their actual content performing. For the A plus
Okay.
content, on the count of three, what do you give them? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, you give them
Sorry.
2. Okay. Well, Ciao Poppy, hopefully this video gets to you. Hopefully other brands are inspired by this video and are learning the tips and tricks that we use at Mindful Goods to improve content for the brands. Check out our website at mindfulgoods.co. We have loads and loads of examples and case studies and videos of working with brands, and we show it all on our website for anyone to learn and grow, and that's what we want for the most amazing brands on Amazon. And until next time. So great tea time.